When you think of the African bush, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Probably the roar of a lion, right? Or maybe the sleek, silent stalk of a leopard. We're all drawn to these incredible predators, and we naturally think of them as the ultimate symbols of danger. But today, we're going to flip that entire picture on its head.
So let me just ask you straight up. If you had to pick the single most dangerous animal on the entire continent, what would you say? A lion? A rhino? Maybe a black mamba?
Well, get ready for list because the creature that actually holds that title, it's probably something you wouldn't even give a second glance.
Okay, let's really dive into this. To get to the truth, we first have to kind of redefine what dangerous even means, you know? It's not always about the sharpest teeth or the most raw power.
And look, it's super important to say this right up front. Going on a safari to see these animals is an unbelievably safe experience. And that's all thanks to the expert guides who live and breathe the stuff. They have this deep, intimate knowledge of animal behavior, and your safety is always, always their number one priority.
All right, now let's pull back the curtain and actually look at the data. It's time to reveal which creatures are, statistically speaking, the deadliest in Africa, and believe it or not, the entire world. So on one side, you've got the lion, the king of the savannah, an absolute icon of strength. But on the other side, the mosquito. Tiny, silent, something we just swat away without a thought. But here's the thing. The real threat isn't the one that roars.
So here it is, the crucial point. The mosquito is responsible for over 700,000 human deaths worldwide every single year, all by spreading diseases like malaria. Its danger has nothing to do with its bite. It's about the microscopic killers it carries. This makes it, by a massive margin, the most dangerous creature on the planet.
But, okay, you might be thinking, that's an insect. What about the big animals? Well, even if we just look at larger animals, the crown for the deadliest doesn't go to the big cats. Nope. It goes to the hippopotamus. I know, they look almost goofy, but these guys are fiercely territorial, shockingly fast, and they've got tusks that can rip a boat in half. And this just goes to show you the danger that's lurking in Africa's waterways. A hippo can literally outrun a person on land. And then there's the Nile crocodile, this patient, perfect ambush predator. It's got that infamous death roll, which is easily one of the most terrifying hunting moves in all of nature. And it's responsible for hundreds of attacks on people every single year. But you know, danger isn't just about human deaths. What about pure hunting skill? When we start looking at the true masters of the hunt, well, the most effective predator out there might surprise you too. And just look at these numbers. This is where it gets really wild. Lions, who we think of as the ultimate hunters, have a success rate of about 30%. But the African wild dogs, they succeed on nearly 80% of their hunts. That makes them the most efficient predators on the whole continent. So how in the world do they do it? It's not about being the strongest, it's all about teamwork that is second to none. They hunt in these perfectly coordinated packs, using insane stamina and constant communication to just wear down and overwhelm whatever they're after. It's pure strategy over brute force. Oh, and we absolutely cannot talk about dangerous animals without giving a nod to the Cape buffalo. Its nickname is the Black Death, and for good reason. This massive animal is known for its incredibly unpredictable temper. When a Cape buffalo decides to charge, it just doesn't stop. But you know, this whole conversation we're having about danger, it's been pretty one-sided, hasn't it? Let's try to reframe this for a second and look at this conflict from the animal's point of view. And this quote right here, wow, it cuts right to the heart of it. The single biggest threat to a lion's survival isn't another animal, it's us. Specifically, it's the growing conflict with people in rural areas, usually over livestock. And the impact of this conflict, you can see it right here. It's been absolutely devastating. The estimated population left in the wild is just alarmingly low. They've been completely wiped out from their entire historic range in North Africa. And the reason? Retaliatory killings. I mean, look at these historical numbers. One company killed up to 800 lions back in 1911. But the threats today are just as brutal. We're talking spearing and the use of these cheap, nasty poisons like furdam that don't just kill the lion, they kill anything and everything that touches that carcass, poisoning the whole ecosystem. So, with all this in mind, how are we supposed to navigate a world with such powerful creatures? Well, the key is to turn that fear into informed respect. It's not about being fearless, it's about being knowledgeable. Take the elephant, for example. Knowing the difference between a mock charge, which is basically a warning shot, and a real charge is absolutely critical. A mock charge is all about show. It's loud, the ears are flared out to look big. A real charge, on the other hand, is often silent. The ears are pinned back, the trunk is tucked in for protection. It is a deadly serious attack.
So what you do has to match the charge. If it's a mock charge, you stand your ground. Make yourself look big, make noise. Whatever you do, do not run, because that'll trigger a chase instinct. But if it's a real charge, you have to run in a zigzag pattern and do everything you can to get a big object like a tree or a boulder between you and that elephant.
And hey, this kind of knowledge isn't just for the big animals. Even for smaller creatures, a little bit goes a long way. Here's a great little rule of thumb for scorpions. If it's got a thick tail and thin pincers, its venom is probably more potent. Why? Because it relies on its stinger way more than its claws.
So, when it all comes down to it, safety in the wild isn't about dominance or being tough. It's about understanding. It's about respecting boundaries, being able to read behavior, and always, always trusting the expertise of qualified guides who live and breed this world every single day. Which brings us right back to our final question. After everything we've looked at, from the silent, deadly mosquito to the devastating impact of human conflict, who is the real villain of the bush? Maybe, just maybe, the answer isn't an animal at all.